It was December the 9th, 2017, and a fighter by the name of Merab Dvalishvili was set to make his UFC debut. This was the opportunity he had worked towards his whole life. After a difficult start to his career, Merab was on a 6-fight win streak, looking to make it 7.
I have to push hard every day.
He is a real problem in the UFC.
But in a shock twist, Merab actually lost.
So when they gave it to the Frankie, we were very disappointed with the judges and proud of you because we know what you had to fight through.
I was sick, I get tired. And
However, his second fight in the UFC would also result in a controversial defeat.
yeah, that was controversial loss. In my head, I never lost this fight. I never tap out. I made to the bell.
You made it to the final bell and you were in a guillotine, and if it went to the judges, we all know you won.
2 losses in his first 2 UFC fights. Things weren't looking good for Dvalishvili.
Why did you even get into this sport if that's your mentality and the way that you think?
So how did a fighter that lost his first 2 fights in the UFC manage to bounce back and become the greatest bantamweight of all time?
When he was carrying Henry Cejudo with his tongue out.
Oh,
he's got
yeah,
his
I
tongue
know.
out, and he's
what
like a
savage
baby.
moment. No one can stop the guy. He's just a big ball of energy. He really is.
It was just win after win after win, and you never lost since, Merab.
You know, I truly believe I'm going to knock Merab out. Come Sunday, no one's going to give a fuck about Merab, and that's just, it is what it is.
Keep talking, and you're gonna get more humble.
Maybe you see him in the mat and he's not the most special guy, the most skillful guy, but I don't know what happens to him when he gets inside that octagon. That man is a fucking machine.
He's a fucking machine.
Merab might already be the greatest 135-pounder ever.
Merab has been on an absolute tear.
Just grateful to be here. Thank you, UFC, and thank you, UFC fans. Do I have a best job in the world? And I enjoy every time I'm stepping here. I'm grateful.
1991. Not only would Georgia declare its independence from the Soviet Union, but in the same year, Merab was born in the small town of Varny, Georgia. Growing up in Varny presented challenges to Dvalishvili from young, because Merab's childhood wasn't about thriving, it was about surviving, with Merab crediting his parents for keeping him grounded. As his father Amarin stated, "Sometimes I look at my boy and think about how quickly the years have passed. It's true that he grew up and had changed, but the stubbornness that reigned in his blood has not disappeared. I think this strong character helped him succeed." That stubbornness was born from survival.
I born in Georgia, but a small village, Vani, and it was bad time, when I born 1991. That's where we left Soviet Union. We started growing again, like as an independent country, and then everybody lost their job. It was no electricity in the country. It was no gas in the country, and lots of criminals. And we don't have a light. We don't have a gas, and the economic drops down, and our country was paralyzed, and everybody moved to village from capital city. Georgian people are tough people, and everybody was gangster, and you have to be gangster to protect your family. Bad situation, and nobody had really money and stuff like that. But 2003, we have a new government. The old police go home, new police, new army, new doctors, new teachers, no corruption. But thank God my father and my family always, they always was against the criminal, against me. My family never had money, but we always my father always make money good way. He teaches good things, me. Sometimes when I was hanging out with kids, we were stealing some things, and then when every time I bring something home, I used to punish. My father hate that. So my father and my mother, they raised me. They show me the hard work, and I wasn't sure. Maybe I want to be gangster, or I want to be good man, go army or something. I was, but.
However, Merab's childhood was far from simple, as he had multiple near-death experiences before the age of 10. At the age of 6, he nearly drowned in a river while he and his 2 older brothers were hiking.
You almost drowned in a river at 6 years old?
What happened was my brother was swimming in a river. I jumped river, and jump in the river and I make fun of him and I can do same. And I was swimming small like a river and then the water take me to deep water.
Oh.
The river was fast.
Oh, so the current got you.
And then the river just stole me and I was under the water.
Shut up, Merab.
And then my other brother saw me and
You scream, help, help.
No, I can't scream, And what happened was I grabbed one of the big rock.
The rock.
Under the water. Because water taking.
It was gonna just keep taking you out.
Yeah, and then I was under the water just hugging the.
So how did he see you?
He left the river and he ran to the side and then he jumped the same me and then they pulled me up.
But even with all these challenges, Merab still remained fearless as a child.
I was very happy and crazy kid, grow up. Like since I remember myself, I was always outside, like the tree and like, climbing tree, eat from tree, and then like sometimes eat my neighbors, they eat my house, kids always play outside.
So at the age of 9, Merab's family would move to Tbilisi, Georgia's capital. He grew up with more blackouts than TV time and learned early that you had to be tough to get by.
So when I was 9, I moved to capital city from village. I grew up in village and then I moved capital city. We moved because I have 2 older brothers. They came students and my parents moved to support them and they bring me to capital city too. But they don't have too much attention on me because they was working and my brother's studying.
How much older are they than you?
6 and 7.
Therefore, even after moving to a different city, struggles would still persist for Merab and his family.
Couple big challenges there too, like make new friends. I was from village. They don't like me much. I used to beat a couple people and then I came friends with everybody and my parents don't have a time to watch me and I was hang out with bad boys, but
gangs?
Not like this, but I was in the street all the time in the school and fights and like this and and then when I was kid, we were tough people and we used to fight a lot in the school and everything and.
But even through the struggle, Merab still held on to his principles, standing up to disrespect from the people around him, and even though he was the youngest of 3 brothers, he never turned to them for help in conflict. So, as there was a lot of fighting in the street where he grew up, Merab started practicing different martial arts as a means of self-defense, beginning by practicing Sambo, traditional Georgian wrestling, and judo.
First, I started training judo when I was very young, like 6-7 years old, and then the gym is closed and I stopped it, and then I continued training when I was 12. I started Greco-Roman, and I realized that wasn't mine. I like judo more. Judo was more popular. When I was 12-13, I started training in judo. And my dream was to become Olympic champion. But once I started training when I was 12-13, that I don't want to hang out anymore street, and I have different goals. I wasn't fighting street, and before I done all my fighting in the street. But thank God I started training, and then after I started training in judo, I stopped hanging out outside. I have a goal to be one of the guy who represent my country outside of my country and represent my country in Europe or in the world. And doing judo, like 2007, I started competing in Sambo too.
These early experiences would lay down the groundwork for his future success in MMA. But as his career evolved, so did his mindset, and the nerves that once defined his early fights began to fade.
In judo and sambo I was nervous, yes, because it's hard, it's like one point can change everything, score everything, and then you win one match, you have second match, different guy, you never know who you're gonna fight, it's very hard to win this
so you think that was harder than MMA?
Oh, of course. Very hard.
The pressure of high intensity and relentlessness shaped Merab's fighting style to this day. However, despite the difficulties, Dvalishvili recalls the excitement he felt transitioning into MMA.
But in MMA, once I start, I was so excited, it's like, I'm gonna, it's like you feel like gladiator, you're gonna die or you're gonna you're gonna get punched or you're gonna go crazy. I was feeling excited, really I wanna go in and just fight hard, and I knew that I was good at MMA, and I knew that I was talented. I love this sport.
How was the training in Georgia?
So MMA was a new sport, but at least we was just do wrestling or like running or lifting or like sparring, but without like not like actual sparring. Like it was just everybody was learning. Like everybody was trying.
But it was at this point where he realized that if he wanted to make it far in martial arts, he would have to move to a place where there were more opportunities. So in 2012, at the age of 21, Merab would move to the United States to train full-time and pursue his dream of becoming a professional mixed martial artist.
2009 I had my first fight, and I started like training and fighting in 2010. I was in army at that time, like 1 year mandatory, and I finished army, and I decided to come here United States to find a good gym, training, find the fights, and eventually go to UFC. But in Georgia I had 9 fights, but unfortunately this doesn't show my professional record, but it was professional fights. Yeah, I have 9 wins. I came here and I have to start everything from amateur, zero.
What was your first reaction to that?
That was really shock for me because I had 9 fights in Georgia. I'm fighting pro rules in Georgia, but there is not official in the record, right? And now MMA it's in United States. I need to go United States. In Georgia I'm fighting, I'm winning, but I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah, literally fighting for nothing.
But when I moved to New York, I have a friend, and then this my friend, he don't know. When I asked I want to training in MMA gym, he bring me to boxing gym. He met some coach. This coach, he's a boxing coach, but this guy already talked my brother Boris that he will training you guys in boxing. He will bring the grapplers, and he will help you to get to the UFC. That's what we want, right?
Yeah, sounds great.
The guy was boxing coach, and then he has no training partners. He has only punching bags, and he has like the girls, the kids. So basically the coach was lied to him, and so I training the gym, but and then I see that this coach was bullshitting. He wasn't real coach. He was boxing, not even good boxing coach. Oh, where do you have a fight before MMA? He said, I don't know any MMA. I can give you a boxing fight. I said, no boxing. No, I'm not a boxer.
What's going on?
Yeah. So how about kickboxing? I said, no kickboxing. And then after that, he make me fight 2 times in kickboxing, and he signed one time amateur boxing, and after this one amateur boxing fight, because it was no MMA fights, he make me sign to Golden Gloves, and I 3 times I fought in Golden Gloves. I win all three fights. The house that we was living in Long Island, when I come outside of house, all the neighbors, everybody quiet. Every time somebody try to have a conversation with me, they figure out I cannot even say.
Understand?
Where I from, and how long I been here, or where, like when I come here, when I go back, or what I do, and everybody stop conversation with me, and it was depressing for sure to that. I cannot make a conversation with people.
Moving to New York was not easy for him, but it was here where he began training with and learning from Matt Serra and Ray Longo, 2 of the best MMA coaches in the game at the Serra Longo fight team.
And then one day he runs into Longo. They said, listen, come down to Longo's. Longo invited him down. He ended up coming down to Longo's, and so when Merab came over, he fit in right away, and he didn't speak a lick of English.
We go to Henzo Gracie gym in Manhattan. That's where we saw Ray Longo, and thank God that's how we find you guys, Team Serra Longo. And since that, when I walk to first Longo's gym, I see the cage, I see the real fighter. I was so happy, and I feel like I'm home finally.
So as he continued to train, and after having 3 successful amateur bouts, Merab would make his long anticipated MMA debut in January 2014.
So I lost my professional debut. Official, I had fights before, but official I have my professional fights, which goes in. It's gonna show up when you Google. I lost, and then I'm like, wow, maybe I'm not a good fighter. Maybe I'm not a good enough to be UFC fighter. After I lost my pro debut, I win my second fight, so I was 1-1. But once I win, another promotion called me. You want to fight? Of course, I want to fight because I was rushing for the fight, and I want to always fight. All that, I lost my pro debut, and I win, and I lost, and I was thinking I'm not good. What are you gonna do? I'm not good. I was thinking I'm not good enough. I'm like, I'm gonna quit this. It's bullshit. I was training better in Georgia. There is no MMA fights, no training. What I'm doing, I'm not get paid, and I spend my money. Now I have to start working. I start working.
With his career off to a rough start, Dvalishvili worked tirelessly. However, for Merab and for any young fighter, fighting in a regional promotion would not create a large enough income. Therefore, Merab would have to work in order to keep his career alive. It was here where he juggled harder labor and even harder training, putting his all into mixed martial arts as his ticket to make it out.
He was working construction.
I only can training nighttime because I was working full-time construction.
You're working full-time, yes.
Yes. First, I was demolition man. After, of course, I'm a handyman, but then I little by little, I came carpenter, And,
oh, wow.
Yeah,
hard work, too.
Yeah. I was doing everything, no electrician, no plumbing, but framing, window, door, roofing.
Therefore, stepping back into the octagon a year and a half later, Merab would secure his second professional win, showing that he actually had made improvements.
I quit that time,
Wow.
1 year I take off. I wasn't training. I was working out, but I said I'm gonna live like normal guy. When I take a little bit break, then I realize miss this. I don't care if I lose or win. This is my time now. If I give up now, 5 years later I will be late. I cannot never get this one back, and I have to work hard. I don't care if I don't make money, if I lose. I want to keep fighting. I want to do my best. That time nobody was paying me, not even $500 in the fight,
Wow.
So I was fighting for free. I had to take 1 week off because I was I needed 1 week to make weight.
Yeah.
I was taking 1 week from work, and I actually lose money to fight, I remember when I came back, and then when we go together in Rhode Island, remember? We go Rhode
Oh
Island.
yeah, for your fight.
Yeah,
Shit,
and then I win back, and then I was so happy.
But it was during this period where his career slowly started to gain momentum, ramping up a 6-fight win streak, which attracted the attention of the UFC.
I was looking for a fight. Dana White looking for a fight. We were flying over. We went from Alaska to New Jersey, and I'm telling him, I know you're looking at Rufus. This is my guy, and I'm telling you, he's a pit bull. So Dana knew. He knew what the fight to watch.
And my opponent was very good, undefeated, 8-0. The Dana especially paper his plight,
Wow.
to bring this guy to the show, and everybody was thinking that this guy can beat me and he can go UFC.
Dana White came out to check out Rafayan, and then in 15 seconds, I think you throw a kick and he catches it, and he goes spinning back fist, vicious KO, right?
Yeah, that was big opportunity. I know doesn't matter how I win, I will go UFC because I win against this guy. It's gonna be big statements for us.
However, just like he had a rough start to his MMA career, his start to his UFC career was equally as difficult, losing to Frankie Saenz by decision and Ricky Simone by a controversial last-second referee stoppage, which Merab himself contested.
I was really nervous. I was hoping the UFC not gonna cut me, and I was hoping that they will give me another chance.
So when they gave it to the Frankie, we were very disappointed with the judges and proud of you because we know what you had to fight through.
I was sick, I get tired, and in the second fight, like you said, that was controversial loss. In my head, I never lost this fight. I never tap out. I made to the bell.
You made it to the final bell, and you were in a guillotine, and if it went to the judges, we all know you won. And afterwards, you were a little doozy. You were a little out, little in, but you made it to the bell. They didn't call it. Next thing you know, they give it to him. So, hey, man, it was weird.
Again, he was stiff, but his eyes were open. He had a glazed look, but the eyes were open. I am tending to think, yes, this guy is in a very bad place from a loss of oxygen, but he is awake. And as I understand the rule to be, that's all he needs to be.
So for me, after these two controversial losses, my goal was to just keep winning. And I think I tell you this after I lost second time against Ricky Simone. And when you told me that Merab, probably you don't this is not you are winning my eyes, and you are winning my eyes. And then I tell you, I don't care. I hope UFC don't cut me.
But Merab knew that having the opportunity to fight in the UFC didn't come around every day, so he fought for his place, beating Terrion Ware and Brad Katona to begin his win streak in the UFC.
Your third fight in the UFC. We're going to Russia, baby.
Yeah.
We're going to Russia.
I was coming from back to back. I just take the guy down and I just hold it down. I don't let him get out. Yeah, I wanted to win this fight so bad, and I don't give him any chance. I'm so happy. I make happy my great coaches, Ray Longo and Metzera, and I representing my best team, Serra Longo team. I'm ready for fight every day, man. I'm training hard. I wanna fight with Jono Mali. Let's go.
And then it was just win after win after win, and you never lost since, Merab. Your story is still being written.
And it was only after these 2 wins where he would finally quit his job as a construction worker. Continuing to fight throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, Dvalishvili would rack up 5 more wins before facing his toughest opponent yet. It was Jose Aldo, who was on a 3-fight win streak.
This is just another fight for me, but the fact that I'm fighting Jose Aldo, this is huge. I was surprised when they give me this fight and Jose Aldo accept this fight. I was thinking everybody else, but not him. My wrestling and grappling is different, works for everyone, and I think it's gonna work for Jose Aldo. Hey, nothing but respect for him, but tomorrow I'm ready for war.
So on August 20, 2022, Merab would do the unthinkable, beating Jose Aldo, cementing himself as a top contender in the division.
I feel very comfortable. He's legend. He's a great striker, like a classic boxer with a good kick. But I was very comfortable. I train with high-level guys all the time. Like I said before, show the judges, make judges' job easy.
So for as long as Aljamain remained champion, Dvalishvili would continue to not just beat top contenders in the division, but absolutely dominate them.
But the way you were wrestling him, put him on one foot, the inside trip, and then your endless gas tank. Like, I was like, and prior to you fighting Henry, this is when me and Henry training here, I say, Henry, Merab's a way tougher fight than Aljo. He goes, you think so? And I was like, yes, he don't fucking stop. He just keeps coming and coming and coming.
Right after I put Peter Yan, that was the fight I know you remember good, and then that was for me the more important than championship fight.
When you had to fight Peter Yan, I remember a conversation with you. The first time I heard concern in your voice about taking the fight because of all the pressure that was going to be. I remember you telling me, Matt, I can't lose this fight with what happened between my country and Russia. I can't lose this fight. I can't take this fight. Like, you almost weren't. You were so on the fence of taking it, and I never heard you like that before.
Beating Piotr Yan and Henry Cejudo, dominating his opponents, making both fights look easy.
I was in Abu Dhabi, and he was talking to Aljo. I was standing away, because Peter has a fight coming up, and I don't wanna jump there, whatever, distract him, anything. And he pointed me. He's so small.
Peter Yan did?
Yeah. And I go, okay. And then I go and I laugh, I don't want to pay attention, I laugh, and I stand next to him. I said, actually, he was carrying weight and he was still bigger than me. I'm like, wow, yeah, you actually strong. He said, and he point, I can knock you out. I said, how about if I shoot? And I tried to set up my, with a punch, my takedown. He really stopped me. He make fun of me. No, he really did. Wow. I'm I laugh again. He tell Aljo he's zero. Yes. We understand that he's talking about I'm a zero. I'm nothing. I'm not at his level or something. And when I beat him and you tell me now who's zero, and then I say this. Your words who's zero now? I scream.
And then when you won that felt like the title to me.
Yeah,
that did. That was up there with I was in there with world titles. That's up there with the best of them because of what was at stake.
However, at UFC 292, everything would change for Merab, as Sugar Sean would beat Aljamain Sterling, and with Aljamain moving up a weight division, Merab's shot at the bantamweight title was in sight.
He beat very good Chito in rematch, but first fight he dominated Chito.
Dominated, yeah.
5 rounds.
Yes.
And so he was looking good.
Looking great and very cocky.
Always knew that Aljo was so much better than him, but it's a fight. Not always best fighter wins, and he used his best opportunity. And
after winning 10 straight fights in the UFC, Merab had finally got the title shot he deserved.
And if he does decide to stand with you, how do you see that going?
Rob is stupid, but not, well, he might be that stupid. We'll find out Saturday night.
I will challenge myself Saturday night, and I know I can do it. I know I can beat this guy.
What was it like just leading up to that fight? Because he was talking a lot of shit, you know, obviously.
As things would ramp up for Merab, and with everyone saying he would have a difficult time against O'Malley's striking style, he would once again prove everyone wrong, dominating Sean for 5 straight rounds, leaving the former champion looking dejected, beating Sean O'Malley and ushering in a new era for the bantamweight division.
You just fought for the belt. You beat Sean O'Malley. Like,
pretty dominant.
Sean was my 4th former champion who I beat, because I beat Jose Aldo, Peter Yan, Henry Cejudo, Sean O'Malley. It was hard for me to even dream and think about to become UFC champion.
Big match between you and Sean O'Malley, right?
Yes.
You finally get an opportunity to fight for the belt at the Sphere. How do you feel about this fight?
Oh, I was chasing this guy in this fight long time already.
And you also outstruck O'Malley. You hit him way more. It was an impressive performance. I thought you won 4 rounds. 2 of the judges had it 3-2. I think he's the big money guy, you know?
For me, I feel I win everything, but judges score a little bit different, but I win for sure. I was not thinking too much in my head, belt or speech or something. And win Merab Dvalishvili, okay, the race man, I'm like, okay, I beat you, no big deal. But then now I wrapped the belt in my, when he wrapped the belt in my waist.
Yeah.
And then, wow, oh
Yeah.
my God, this is crazy. Now I'm champion and forever will be champion. It doesn't matter. So yeah, nothing surprised me actually. You know, I make him look normal. Just work hard, focus, and dream will come true.
But everything would only keep getting better for Dvalishvili. Defending his belt successfully against the fighter everyone thought he would lose to, Umar Nurmagomedov.
That's another bullshit from him. Of course he's not Georgian. He can't even represent Dagestan. He represents Russia. But after I was winning, and then Umar, yeah, he was fighting, but nobody really like a ranking. You know, we all know he's a good fighter, and of course he got us our attention, of course. And then I win the belt, and UFC asked me to fight him. I said yes, I will fight. I will, like, it's first time I win the belt. I would like to come back 5 months later. You know, I want to take time. Traveling in the world a little bit, and I want to enjoy it. Umar start talking shit. Oh, Merab, now you know I can't fight Ramadan, and you have to take a fight in December or January, bro. I just win the belt in September. Why I have to take a fight in December? Like, going crazy looking his tweets. I block him in Instagram. Like, he's talking shit.
Get annoyed.
Yeah,
you hurt your back. I know the situation. No, listen, I like to say it for you because it doesn't matter now. You won the fight.
Right.
If you lost, that's a problem.
Right.
You go into that fight all messed up. Your back, there's nights you can't walk. The machine's having some issues. You take the fight and you shine. You shine, Merab. You shine like a star.
And although it was one of his closest fights to date, the challenger still stood no chance.
I wasn't cared. I was fighting Nurmagomedov undefeated. I know I was gonna come and just do my fight.
And he followed this up by submitting Sean O'Malley in a rematch with a north-south choke. Then dismantling Corey Sandhagen, displaying how much ahead of the competition he truly is.
Today I was fighting for the belt. Mr. President Donald Trump was here. Dana White, Hunter Campbell, and all my Georgian people was here. All the immigrants and all my friends from New York. Doesn't get any better than this. I'm so happy and grateful.
It's a great performance. He's starting to look like one of the best bantamweights of all time, if not the best. When you look at a performance like that, what do you think it takes to beat a guy like Merab at this point?
Yeah, I agree. We've been talking about that. We don't know. And Sean O'Malley came in 100% healthy, ready, mentally, physically, in every way you could be ready for this fight. And Merab finished.
That moment, dream come true.
Yes.
Dream come true.
Yes.
You never had to bend the knee. You never had to sacrifice your integrity or your character.
With his relentless cardio, as well as being a threat on the feet and on the ground, it seems to me like Merab will never be beaten again. And with a rematch in sight against Piotr Yan, Dvalishvili has an opportunity to break a record. As if he wins this fight, he will have 4 successful title defenses in a calendar year. But with his relentless pace and pressure, there's no doubt that the machine can once again dismantle Piotr Yan and cement his name as one of the best in UFC history.